As if the salary cap was not enough, the NBA incorporated salary cap exceptions. And since the salary cap exceptions were not enough, the NBA instituted luxury tax penalties to further control team spending and encourage continued parity within the league. So, why does the NBA have a luxury tax when it allows teams to exceed the salary cap? Well, in this video, I'm going to talk about the reasons why the NBA has the luxury tax. Let's get into it. The NBA's luxury tax, or as the CBA refers to it, a tax or a team payment, is an incremental tax owners must pay when their team exceeds the salary cap. The luxury tax purpose is to prevent teams in big markets from leveraging their market revenues to outbid small market franchises when recruiting free agents. Since the soft salary cap was not enough to prevent teams in larger markets from flexing their ability to acquire top talent, the luxury tax was another way for the NBA to control spending and encourage parity within the league. Not only does the NBA have a soft salary cap, due to the significant exceptions that allow teams to exceed the cap, it also has a luxury tax that is supposed to deter teams from going far above the salary cap. Yes, far above the salary cap. That could eventually cause the teams to exceed the tax level threshold. Yes, the luxury tax is linked to a tax level threshold. How many different ways must the NBA discourage teams from going over the salary cap? Is there really parity within the league? Just thought I'd ask. Like the salary cap, the luxury tax is predetermined before the NBA season begins. The luxury tax is calculated by taking a percentage of the projected basketball-related income, the projected benefits, and the number of teams in the league. Any team that exceeds the salary cap is subject to pay the luxury tax. As mentioned earlier, the luxury tax is an incremental tax, meaning that the exact tax rate a team must pay depends on how high over the salary cap they go. Not all teams that exceed the salary cap is required to pay a luxury tax. It's teams that exceed the salary cap and the defined tax level that must pay the luxury tax. So it goes like this. If the NBA team exceeds the salary cap but does not exceed the predetermined tax level, no luxury tax is required to pay. If the team exceeds the salary cap and goes over the predetermined tax level, then that team must pay the luxury tax. Teams pay a penalty for each dollar their team's salary exceeds the tax level. Let's consider each tax level as a tier. Remember, the luxury tax is an incremental tax. The incremental tax payments look like this. I'm going to talk about the first two tiers as an example. For tier 1, teams are taxed $1.50 for every dollar they exceed the tax level between $0 to $4.99 million. For tier 2, teams are taxed $1.75 for every dollar they exceed the tax level between $5 million to $9.99 million. And this is just the standard or baseline luxury tax rates. Did you know that there is higher tax rates for teams that are labeled as repeat offenders? Yes, repeat offenders. Teams qualify as repeat offenders when they have paid the luxury tax penalties in 3 of the 4 previous seasons. If a team becomes a repeat offender, and they don't want to do that, but if they do become a repeat offender, their luxury tax rate increases by $1 per increment. So for instance, a team that is a repeat offender, instead of paying $1.50 for every dollar that exceeds the tax level, they'll pay $2.50. As it relates to the luxury tax, it's important to note that for the 2020-2021 NBA season, the luxury tax rates will be reduced significantly due to the pandemic. As stated in the New York Daily News article, the league is anticipating a steep drop off in revenue due to the reduction in regular season games, 82 to 72, the reduction of fans permitted in arenas, and the widespread impact of the pandemic on everyday operations. So, because of this, some teams are getting a tax break. Well, in this video, I summarized the reasons for the NBA luxury tax and some of its rules. Without the luxury tax, owners with the most money or teams in larger markets would flex their ability to acquire top talent. I am so glad the NBA thought to provide an additional layer of parity protection so that teams would not overspend. If you enjoyed this video, let me know by liking, commenting, and subscribing to our channel. Until next time, goodbye.